The pain of desire is a call to sovereignty, but hardly anyone hears it. Because from an early age, we were trained to flee from the fire, when in truth, it came to crown us. Desire was exiled, labeled as vice, condemned as sin. But what burned inside you was never a mistake. It was a reminder, a primal code from the womb of creation. Have you ever felt pleasure and shame at the same time? Have you ever feared something that made you tremble inside? That conflict is not weakness. It is the tension between the sleeping king and the beast that rules in his place. While you repress, desire consumes you. But when you listen, it reveals you. There is a throne waiting for those who dare to cross the inner fire. Lust doesn't need to be conquered. It needs to be elevated. And the body, far from being an enemy, is the temple where this ascension begins. Are you ready to rule the fire, or will you still be ruled by it? The pain of desire is a call to sovereignty, and in this video, you will learn how to decode it. We will reveal how the energy of lust, when transmuted, becomes creative force, personal magnetism, and the awakening of higher consciousness. Based on hermetic codes, ancestral archetypes, and scientific evidence of energetic alchemy, we will uncover the true nature of the inner fire. You will understand why raw desire is not weakness, but forgotten power. We will explore the hidden portals of the vibrational body and the practices that elevate impulse into light. Nothing will be repressed, everything will be refined. Every technique we unveil is anchored in ancient wisdom and modern evidence. Get ready not just to understand the fire, but to rule it. Your hidden power awaits your own ascension. Imagine a young man named Elijah. Since childhood, he carried within him a flame that seemed uncontrollable. In every glance, in every touch, desire pulsed like thunder hidden beneath the skin. His family and culture taught him that it was a sin, something to be feared and repressed. For years, Elijah fought against his own body, waging a silent war that drained his strength and joy. But on a quiet night, as he took refuge in an old library, his eyes were drawn to a forgotten manuscript, hidden behind dusty volumes. The title seemed to whisper directly to his soul: The Hermetic Art of Transmuting the Inner Fire. Curious and exhausted from his inner struggle, Elijah began to read. There, he found something no one had ever taught him: that his desire was, in fact, a spark of the universal creative force. That lust was not a curse, it was sacred raw material, waiting to be refined. Each word of that manuscript seemed to dissolve centuries of guilt and fear rooted deep within him. Elijah realized that hidden within the very fire he tried to extinguish, there was a dormant portal to spiritual sovereignty. And so, unknowingly, he took his first step toward mastering his own destiny. And as Elijah delved into those forgotten words, an ancestral bridge began to form before his eyes. Because the fire he carried was not new. It was an echo of sacred practices that had crossed millennia. Around the year 3000 before Christ, on the fertile plains of Sumer, temple priestesses of Inanna channeled sexual energy as a direct bridge to the divine. There, the union of bodies was ritual, portal, sacred creation between heaven and earth. Lust was not sin. It was an invocation of the cosmos through the flesh. Centuries later, around the 3rd century, Egyptian and Greek hermeticists codified this same force in their secret writings. They saw the energy of desire as a necessary polarity of creation, the impulse that moves stars, gods, and men. The Kabbalion taught that everything is vibration, and desire was one of the most powerful magnetic fields for shaping reality. But as the patriarchal era took hold and fear of instinct grew, this sacred vision was distorted. Lust, once celebrated as spiritual fuel, was demoted to vice, to error, to shameful deviation. The medieval church sealed this new dogma, associating pleasure with sin and condemning the body to moral imprisonment. Today, in the 21st century, we live fragmented between repression and compulsive consumption. Some flee from desire as if it were poison. Others surrender blindly, without direction. In both cases, the essence has been lost. What should have been a throne of creation has become a cycle of enslavement. But the lost wisdom still whispers among us to those who dare to listen. Research conducted by Harvard Medical School reveals that practices of energetic sublimation, such as the transmutation of desire, activate the prefrontal cortex, a region associated with self-control, creativity, and future planning. In a study from the year 2017, individuals trained in impulse redirection techniques showed significant increases in neural connectivity between emotional centers and areas of conscious decision-making. This means that desire, when not repressed but channeled, literally restructures the brain, strengthening circuits of focus, intuition, and purpose. Furthermore, studies on neuroplasticity indicate that sexual energy, when sublimated, creates new vibrational patterns that elevate the body's bioelectric field, increasing vitality and mental clarity. Stanford University also mapped that states of arousal redirected toward creative practices activate brain regions linked to innovation and the resolution of complex problems. Modern science, therefore, only confirms what ancient hermeticists already knew intuitively. The inner fire, when well governed, not only transforms the soul, it reconstructs the very temple of the brain. The inner fire, when ignored, consumes. When governed, creates worlds. And to transform raw desire into luminous force, there is a hidden code, an alchemical sequence known to few. We call this the transmuter code, the 4 stages to elevate desire to spiritual sovereignty. First stage, recognize the fire. Nothing can be transmuted without first being acknowledged. When you feel the impulse of desire, do not judge it, do not repress it, do not fear it. Observe it as one who gazes into a burning flame, alive, powerful, neutral. Desire is pure energy in its raw state, awaiting conscious direction. Second stage, breathe, the portal. Breath is the key that unlocks the vibrational portals of the body. Focus on the sacral center, just below the navel. Inhale slowly and deeply, feeling the energy pulse there. This region is the cradle of prana, the vital energy that nourishes both the physical body and the subtle field. Third stage, redirect the serpent. Here, you stop being a victim of the impulse and become a master of the energy. Visualize the accumulated force in the womb rising like a golden serpent, spiraling up the spine. As it ascends, imagine each chakra lighting up, from the sacral to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the crown center. Each activated center transmutes part of the energy into higher vibration. Fourth stage, offer the light. Elevated energy needs a destination. After the ascent, channel this power into a creative action or symbolic gesture. Write, create, meditate, bless someone, consecrate a purpose. The energy that once sought gratification now becomes fuel for the soul. To seal the cycle is to recognize that the fire has been consecrated, not merely contained. These 4 stages are not merely techniques, they are vibrational portals. Each one reconnects you to the forgotten memory that desire is not the enemy of the soul, but its most urgent messenger. To govern the fire is to remember the sleeping divinity within. That night, Elijah felt the old fire rise once again. It was intense, urgent, familiar, but now it carried new understanding. Instead of surrendering to the impulse or suffocating it with guilt, he sat in silence. He took a deep breath, focusing on his lower abdomen, where desire pulsed like a war drum. Each inhale seemed to feed a dormant light within him. He visualized the golden serpent coiled at the base of his energetic body, waiting only for the call to awaken. As he exhaled, he saw this serpent begin to rise, slowly and majestically, touching his inner centers with warmth and awareness. When the energy reached his heart, a wave of emotion burst forth, not of raw desire, but of love, compassion, and clarity. Overtaken by a force he had never known before, Elijah picked up his old guitar, forgotten in the corner of the room. Without thinking, he let his fingers move, let his soul sing through the strings. The music that emerged did not speak of lack or emptiness, but of power, freedom, and creation. Days later, that song found resonance in other souls, spreading like fire throughout the city. What Elijah experienced was not fame, it was vibrational resonance. In that moment, he understood that desire, when transmuted, does not destroy, it builds new worlds. Elijah had not conquered the fire, he had become its master. Perhaps you're wondering, but isn't this just a refined form of repression? The answer is clear. To repress is to deny the fire. To transmute is to crown it. Repression is fear, extinguishing the flame to avoid discomfort. Transmutation is courage, building temples from the embers of your own desire. When you repress, the impulse becomes shadow, seeking twisted outlets. When you transmute, it becomes light, shaping new pathways of power. It is like the alchemist who does not destroy lead, he elevates it, extracts its hidden gold. Desire does not need to be silenced, it needs to be understood, honored, and directed. Repression creates fragmentation. Transmutation creates integration. The one who masters the inner fire does not become a slave to the impulse, nor its jailer. They become its sovereign. Close your eyes for a moment. Sit with your spine upright, feeling the weight of your body firmly anchored to the earth. Bring your attention to the center of your lower abdomen, the sacral portal where primordial energy pulses. Inhale deeply through your nose, mentally counting to 4. Feel the air filling your belly like a warm, golden light. Hold your breath for 2 counts, allowing that light to gather and vibrate. Exhale gently through your mouth, counting to 6, releasing any accumulated tension. Repeat the cycle 3 more times, sinking deeper with each breath. Now, visualize a golden serpent coiled at the base of your spine, awakening with the heat of your awareness. With your next inhale, see this serpent begin to rise slowly, spiraling up the spine. With each vertebra it touches, imagine a chakra lighting up in its corresponding color: orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. When it reaches the heart center, feel an explosion of pink golden light radiating through your entire energy field. Stay in this state for a few moments, feeling yourself surrounded by pure love, power, and sovereignty. Now mentally repeat 3 times: I transcend, I create, I am divine fire. As you open your eyes, carry this refined vibration with you, remembering that you are the alchemist of your own desire. Breathe once more and feel the silence that remains. The body vibrates differently. Something within has been realigned. And now, to seal this passage, recall the 4 portals you have activated. First, recognize the fire. Observe desire as pure energy without guilt. Second, breathe the portal. Activate the sacral center with conscious breathing. Third, redirect the serpent. Guide the energy through the higher centers. Fourth, Offer the light. Transform impulse into creation, into offering. 4 stages. 1 single destination. Vibrational sovereignty. These codes will echo within you as keys to ascension. Lust is not weakness. It is the raw material of enlightenment. It is the fire of creation, still unrefined, calling for conscious direction. To transmute desire is a revolutionary act. You don't run from it, you rule it. With every impulse you elevate, a new layer of consciousness opens. It's not about denying the body, but reconsecrating it as a vibrational temple. Start now. Choose a creative gesture to channel your energy, an art, a ritual, an offering. This is the first step to integrate desire and purpose. Alchemy happens when you act, even in silence. Nietzsche wrote, "You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star." Lust is that primordial chaos, and you are the artisan of the inner cosmos. Don't expect perfection, expect presence. Don't seek control, choose awareness. This energy pulsing within you is the signature of the universe in motion. When well guided, it becomes magnetism, clarity, direction. And this is not mystical, it is vibrational, biological, real. The fire does not need to be feared, it needs to be crowned. You are capable of transmuting pleasure into purpose, desire into light, instinct into sovereignty. The archetype of the Creator pulses beneath the surface of your flesh. Awaken it, elevate it, embody it. You did not come to be consumed, you came to set the world on fire with consciousness. If this content awakens something in you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Share it with someone who needs to remember that desire can be a portal to power. Write in the comments, "My desire is a sacred portal." This affirmation vibrates beyond words. Your awareness doesn't stop here. Click on the screen and watch another transformative video. Every choice raises your frequency. Every insight repositions you at the center of your own temple. Remember, you were not made to fear the fire. You were made to shape realities with it.